Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's lovely to have you back here. It has been a while since my last upload. Kind of just been getting used to things in the new year. I set myself some new goals. I've been working towards those. Doing more game design stuff and all that. So hopefully you'll be able to see the results of that soon. But I am back here on the YouTube and I am starting a new series on a game called Tiny Rogues. This is a new roguelike that was released in 2023. It has had its first major update for a while in 2024 and it is really it is getting really good. So there are some roguelikes I consider in the pantheon of greats like Gungeon, Isaac, Hades. This is starting to get to that point now where I think this is going to be one of the best roguelikes ever made. It's got a really simple art style. It's not winning any awards for its cutting edge graphics, but it still looks really good and it plays fantastically. There's so much content in this game. There's so many characters. Just to show you, this is all of the characters we can unlock now, but there's even more we can unlock later. This entire screen gets filled up with characters we can unlock, and there's tons of items and ways you can start and play your runs. There's even an ascension system. So this game's really promising. I'm really looking forward to showcasing it on the channel. I've started a new save file here just so we can play it from scratch as if a new player was playing it. But I also stream the game on my Twitch channel where I have a more completed save file. So if you want to watch us play even more of this game, definitely check us out on this Twitch stream. But for today, we only have one character to play as, the hero. Hot-blooded young hero on a quest to vanquish humanity's biggest adversary. Can they defeat death? He starts with the skill Lucky Star. I gain luck depending on how good my alignment is. This is a new thing added in the most recent update. Alignment is essentially, we get positive alignment by doing good deeds, we get negative alignment by doing bad deeds. Something that we're not going to see very much in the early game, but as we progress in the game, that's going to become a bigger and bigger deal. Starts with 2 HP, 2 MP, 2 stamina points, which are used for dodging, which I'll show you later. Starts with a positive alignment and a hero cape, which increases his stats based on his alignment. And he starts with 2 in every stat, so he's really well-rounded here. We get to pick our starting item before we start the run. We can start with an extra heart, extra bombs, extra gold, or extra keys. I typically like going in with extra keys, but we're going to keep it simple today, and we're going to play with some extra hearts. Other than that, I think we're good to just go in and start playing. We're not going to worry about the mastery yet, because we don't have any points to spend. So in case you're wondering how this game plays, it's like a mixture of Enter the Gungeon and Dead Cells. So you've got these small rooms where you can use your skills to defeat your enemies. We start with a weapon here, if I can get my inventory up. We start here with the Apprentice Wand, and one thing you've got to note is that every weapon scales differently depending on a different skill. So this one you can see has a D in intellect scaling, which means it's going to take our intellect into account, which is here. But different weapons in the game scaled in different ways. We actually start with one of each weapon class here, so we can choose how we play the run. We can play with a sword, which has a shorter range attack, scales with strength, or we can play with a bow, which has a longer range attack, scales with dexterity. Weapons can also have affixes that are randomly rolled. And in general, there's just a lot of synergy going on. At the end of every room, we pick a way we can go, and this offers a different reward. So we can either take a pair for dexterity, or take a key. I think we'll go for the dexterity, because getting stats, not only does it increase our stats permanently, but I'll also show you it increases our EXP. There we go. And if we get this up to 5, we level up and we get a permanent skill. I will take 2 bombs, maybe? Oh, it is good to just get skills here. Let's go for the intelligence. Usually in the early game, you want to focus on leveling up your skills and getting better weapons. But you can kind of play the game how you want. It's pretty open-ended in how you can build yourself. I like getting souls. Souls are used to get, heart containers and stuff. And for some special shops as well. But we're just going to go for the 1 in every stat here. I don't know if the first run is always preceded. Also, I definitely shouldn't have gotten hit there. I'm too busy talking. But you generally get the idea. It's a pretty simple twin-stick shooter play style. Or we get big souls. So because we have a certain luck, because of our alignment, working with our passive skill. Yeah. This got changed into a big room, which essentially gives extra rewards. If we had negative luck, that could do the opposite. But we'll get into that later. But for now, it's a pretty standard affair. We're definitely going to take the 4 to 5 bombs. That's just pretty good. And yeah, we're chilling. I think I'm going to use the sword instead because it has a faster attack speed and does a little more damage. Gold or key? I think it's usually good to have at least 1 key, so let's take the key. I don't actually know what the hero's cape does. I'm going to check that now, actually. It 10% damage based on our alignment. We get a plus 10% damage, which is pretty good. I think we'll take some dice too. These allow us to re-roll rooms, essentially get different rewards. And also re-roll our level up bonuses as well. Alright. I can spend a key to get an extra dexterity, which I think I'm going to do. Seems like a good deal. So we want to get our stats sort of going high as they can. Some weapons take multiple stats into account, but for now, we only take one in. So we can either get... So the little skull and crossbones here means we're about to enter a boss fight. These usually offer better rewards. We can get a pair of gloves, or we can get an uncommon item. An uncommon item can do a lot at this point in the game, so I'm going to go for the uncommon item. Nothing can stop me. So this is our first boss, the Minotaur. And all he does is charge, and when he hits a wall, he makes rocks fall. It's a really easy fight, as long as you're careful. The big thing you got to look out for in this fight is to just stay far away from where he ends up, because he does that big AoE once he hits a wall. Other than that, he's pretty simple. He does get a little more complicated here, but again, as long as you stay far away from where he's arriving and don't go in his path as he's running, he's a pretty easy fight. Obviously, you do have to watch out for the rocks as well, but it's not that bad. And as you can see, we're done here. I'm going to drink this potion, because I don't like having not full hearts here. And we'll get to see what our boss rewards are. There's our uncommon item. You can tell by the colour of the beam of light that comes down. So, grants extra attack speed but reduces the damage. That's pretty cool. I like attack speed. On dash, gain 2 stacks of haste. Haste is a stackable buff that grants extra movement speed per stack. Or, extra damage at close range. We'll take the attack speed. That's really fun. So we're going to attack a lot faster. We're attacking 25% faster, but our damage is 25% worse. This is good with some weapons and bad with others, but for the most part, I think that's going to equate to more damage in the long run. So this is where we can spend our souls to get stuff. We can attune items. So essentially what attunement does is that some items, when you pick them up, don't immediately work. So you need to clear a certain amount of rooms with them to attune them, and that makes them work. Or you can go to this campfire and he'll just attune most items for free, which is really nice. Oops, I didn't mean to buy that. That was a full recovery, so that's going to refill our flasks. So I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but I really wasn't meant to pick this. Because what you really want to do is save up for this. This gives you heart containers, stamina points, mana points, permanently, if you can get up to 30 souls. We are going to take the beef. How many stats are we on? So we'll be even on strength and range once we get this. Yeah, we can definitely feel the negative effects of this damage down already. But again, we are attacking more frequently. One thing I forgot to mention is that these little green things under your health, they're your dashes. So they work a little bit like your dodge rolls in Gungeon. If you dash into a shot, you usually don't take damage. So you can use that to avoid damage almost entirely. On non-triggered lucky hit, trigger a blessed hammer that deals radiant damage. Gain extra attack speed based on the dexterity scaling of your weapon. It looks like we're doing a full attack speed run. So yeah, since our bow has a D in dexterity scaling, we're going to get a pretty good attack speed boost. Currently we're at 10%. But as this gets up closer to S tier, that's going to get even higher. We don't want to go for the cursed treasure rock, so essentially what curse does is every time we enter a cursed reward, we'll get a point of curse, and this is essentially the opposite of luck. Luck gives us a chance of dealing extra crit and finding better items. Curse does the opposite. It has a chance of taking our crits away from us and finding worse rewards and items. So usually you want to keep your luck as high as possible and your curse as low as possible, but there are some reasons why you may want to take curse in the long run. Speaking of curse, these purple projectiles, if we take a hit from these and we don't have any armor, we'll actually get cursed. So we want to not get hit there. Alright, we have some cool weapons here that scale nicer with... This one scales with intellect and a C in dexterity, which is pretty good. It does poison damage, and it does a secondary attack. So this one's going to attack really quickly. I think this one's the best one here. And it comes with a standard +1 upgrade as well. It's a two-hander, but we didn't have an offhand weapon anyway. So now we're scaling dexterity and intellect, which is not bad. But yeah, look at this. That's really cool. I will say the weapon design in this game is always spot on. I really like the range of different attack styles. Arcades are really good, but only when you've got money. So we don't have any money, so we're going to go have a look at this mage stash. And we're probably not going to open it. But as you can see, this weapon is a big upgrade. Much more damage. And it's applying poison. Poison is good because it's just damage over time. Really, really decent. Am I going to use this key on a mage stash? I don't think I am. So I think I'm just going to take the... I don't need bombs. I'll take the beef because it gets us closer to a level up. I've not mentioned it, but the purple enemies you see here are enchanted enemies, and you can see in the top right what the enchantment is they have. Essentially, it just makes the enemies harder, it gives them a random bonus, which can either make them deal more damage, or take more hits, or any variety of wacky things. There's even an Oktoberfest enchantment, which makes them throw beer at you, which is really funny. Sorry if I'm talking a lot, by the way. This game has a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in Tiny Rogues, and I don't think I can really do it justice by just blathering on. That's a lot of money. I think we'll take that now. That seems really good. Gotta keep an eye on our dice bag as well. We have some dice we can use. But for the most part, if I'm happy with what I get, I'm not going to reroll. You're gonna fire this way now. Everything's good. Sweet. Lots of money. Love that. I don't want to go too high on strength, because it might just start offering us strength-only stuff, and I don't want that. I don't know if the game has a weight system, if it has like a classing system where if you take a certain amount of points in a certain stat, you are more likely to see weapons of that stat. So I'm going to be better safe than sorry here. We won't need an offhand because our weapons are two-handed, so I think we can have a look for another helmet. Let's go. It's at least one, so the other two aren't going to be what it says it is. So we'll get two other rewards as well. It doesn't have to be a helmet. I don't know what the blue shots do. I think they just apply cold, and that slows you down. In general, you just don't want to get hit at all, though. The Lich is a bit of a spooky one. I'd say he's probably the hardest boss you can get on floor 2. Especially since he can apply Curse. Getting Curse this early is really bad, and you want to avoid it as much as possible. I might have underestimated you a little bit. Good for you. Yeah, all of the bosses have like a line of dialogue they say once they get to half HP. It's really cute stuff. But as long as we're careful here, I don't think we'll get hit. No, spoke too soon. Definitely spoke too soon. That was a really bad cycle there. But after that, we probably shouldn't get hit again. At least that's my hope. Need to keep these ads under control. And we're good. Yeah, if you kill a boss and there's ads still alive, it will instantly kill all of the ads that the boss had. I'm going to drink a potion. There we go. You have these health flasks you can use. You can heal, but it will force you to stand still. Each point of dexterity also applies to a minimum damage roll. That's pretty cool, but I don't think we need a minimum damage roll. I'm pretty sure we can still use quivers if our weapon is two-handed, so this is really good. Quivers apply to only bows and crossbows, but I think they just apply a standard thing to us. On non-triggered ranged lucky hit, trigger a hail of arrows. Might as well try it. That only gives us +1 heart, so yeah. See, it's not crossed out here. Even though this is a two-handed weapon, we're still allowed to use a quiver and our offhand, because that goes on our back, basically. This is just going to apply a chance for our thing to do a rain of arrows, which is really nice. And it's nice that we can still use it even if the weapon is two-handed, making it so our secondary slot is not completely useless. Taking a drink here. Let's go on. I'm sorry if I talk too much. Again, I've said it before, but in future, when there's less stuff to describe to you, after we've done a couple episodes of this, I definitely need to talk a lot less. But for now, we're just trying to explain everything as it comes. You can see there's a huge variety of enemies in the game as well. We could see our rain of arrows triggering, which is nice. And because of our bonus luck we get from our alignment here, I think it's still at +1. Yeah. We'll go for the pair. We need more dexterity. We get more lucky hits. I think we're currently sitting at a 10% chance to lucky hit. We want that to be higher than 10%, ideally. I have seen better damage at this point in the game. I would like a weapon that does a little bit more damage. Maybe has a better dexterity scaling. Oh, I'm poisoned. Reduces the amount of hearts recovered by your flask by 50% and lasts 10 rooms. You might just die here. This is a really bad room for us here. At least poison isn't going to screw me up completely. I just need to not get hit again, basically. I'll take that pair. Does this go with intellect? It does. So I'm gonna go for this then. The bombs don't hurt you, by the way, so don't worry about that. As long as we're careful here, we shouldn't get hit again. It is getting a little spooky, though. I need to pay closer attention. Woo! Okay, close, close. This area is quite difficult if you don't know what you're doing. But if you're careful, then it's not that bad. Looks like we're good. Alright, where next? Oh, health fountain. Fully refills hearts and flasks. If we can survive this room, we'll be in a much, much better spot. Woo, my god. It's a miracle we're still alive. I dodged at just the right time there. If we can make it past this room, it's going to be amazing. We'll be back in the running here if we make it past this. Absolutely fantastic. Fully healed, poison's gone, flask is filled. That's what you like to see. We're going to go to the pawn shop because this allows us to sell the weapons we're not using, which is typically a good idea. So we'll sell the staff, we'll sell the bow, and then we'll sell the sword. There you go. We get a bit of extra gold. Fission chips increases our intelligence and strength. You usually want to go for these double stat increases because they are pretty rare, and they just do you some good. Increasing multiple stats at once is always going to be a good thing, no matter what run you're in. Just because it gets you closer to leveling up, and also you might find a weapon that scales with every stat that you quite enjoy. So it's good to go for. Right, we're going to get offered new things here. So 200 melee weapons, that's an instant no, I don't even care what it says. Unlucky hit, gain cheap shot, increasing secondary attack damage. We have a secondary attack. I think that's pretty good, but I'm going to re-roll these. Okay, because of our luck, we got a fourth option. But what's this point blank? Ranged attacks gain 100% crushing hit chance at close range. That's pretty good, crushing hit. It increases our top end damage, which is really nice. On non-triggered lucky hit, trigger a blessed hammer. I think this is pretty good, because we are going for some kind of lucky hit thing. So we'll do that, and we'll take an intelligence. Yeah, I think what we really want in this run is more luck, because as you can see, we're firing a ton of extra projectiles whenever we trigger a lucky hit. We're doing the rain of arrows, and we're doing the radiant hammer. Which is also applying glitter, by the way, which is like a damage over time buff, I'm pretty sure. Resin's really good with a ranger, so we're going to go for the resin. Essentially, resin and potions are like temporary buffs you can apply to your character, but depending on the character you're playing, you can actually acquire perks that make these things last forever. So it's usually good to keep hold of them until you get said perks, because they can really transform your run at that point. So I'll explain in a second what I mean. So here, we have a Crystal Pine Resin. Crystal Pine Resin, it gives us a cold infusion buff that gives extra cold damage to all of our attacks for 10 rooms. We can use this now to have it last for 10 rooms, or we can try and save it to make our buffs permanent. I'm going to use it because I feel like we're relying too much on RNG if we do that. I don't want to take a cursed thing because we're doing lucky shot chance, so we're going to go for a charm. Charms go in these slots and they just give you some passive bonuses. They're usually not major, but they are really nice to have. You disrupt nature's peace, I will stop you. This is Mandrake. He does a lot of poison damage, you just need to be really careful with this guy, because he's actually really hard. The way these projectiles curve in on themselves is really tricky sometimes. So as long as you take it slow, don't step on those brambles, you'll be fine. In general, though, this fight is a little tricky, especially if you're just getting started in the game. Again, don't step on these brambles, it's a bad idea. I think certain enemies have certain resistances to elements, and I think this guy has a poison resistance, which is not good for us, because we want to deal poison damage to him. But that's fine. We'll still get him dead, it's just going to take a little longer. Especially since we're getting a lot of lucky hits. I seem to remember this guy summoning, like, branches, but I think that's another boss. Whoa, yeah, I forgot he does that. Spooky boss. Right. Lots happening, and he's dead. And we didn't get hit, that's fantastic. There isn't a reward for not getting hit yet, but as we progress later in the game, there will be a reward for not getting hit on boss fights. There's one of our charms. Let's have a look at this. So this is 10% increased magic damage. This is an offhand, which gives us a frost orbital. And this is a body armor. Upon defeating a boss without taking damage, you are granted an additional intelligence pickup. This seems really good, but I'll take the charm. The magic damage isn't amazing, but it doesn't do nothing either. I think this weapon counts as magic damage. Oh, so we'll go on. Alright, so far so smooth. You can see there's a lot of flaws in the game, so we have quite a way to go. Alright, we have enough souls to get a favour point. And I usually like going for health. so I'm gonna go for health this time. Okie dokie. I do like having 3 points of stamina, but it's usually not that bad. Dragon weapons are usually really good, so we're gonna go for a dragon weapon here. Especially since we still have an uncommon weapon, we kind of want something a little better than that. I think Dragon Slayer weapons are usually like weapons that scale with all of your stats, if I'm not mistaken. So they're not going to have a particular class about them, but they are going to be quite strong. But then again, it depends how lucky we are here as to what we get. Usually your rarer weapons are like reserved to later in the game. Right, let's open this and see what we get. It's a gun, so it's got good dexterity scaling and intelligence scaling. And it gives piranha bites. So let's have a look at this. Let's equip it. And this is bound to be good, right? I think this is going to be better than this. It inflicts piranha bites, which deals 200% infliction damage as thrusting damage 2 times per second for 4 seconds. That seems really good. It doesn't scale with strength, though. But this does give us other bonuses. It increases damage dealt as a passive, and it also gives us equipment load capacity, which we've not exceeded yet. You can see this on 45 out of 80 there. If we exceed that, we do go a little slower. So we're going to take this, because +3 in any stat is going to be good. Oh, and this has homing as well. This weapon's sweet. Yeah, this weapon seems really good. I stepped on that by accident, my mistake. I didn't realise I didn't have any dashes left. This room's quite hectic. Right. So this weapon isn't the perfect weapon by any means, but it's still pretty good. Right. Moving on here. We've got big trolls. These guys are a little annoying. They do a massive explosion. Also, my headphones are kind of bugging out. Give me a minute whilst I fix this. I'm just going to pause the recording for a second. And we are back. Sorry about that. Just, my headphones have been acting up lately. Right. Oh, so here we can see a mimic. You can tell the difference because you can see its teeth here and here. This means this chest is free to open as long as we can complete the fight that's attached to it. Which usually they're not too bad. Yeah, like you see, 3 bombs for us and a pair of gloves, which we don't have. 20% increased damage while having a mark with reward effect. Adds +2 to unarmed dexterity scaling. We don't have unarmed. And adds to unarmed damage. We'll take them. We don't have a mark reward though, so that's not going to really do anything. Let's go have a look in the shop, because we have 63 gold. What is this? Boots. On dash, gain combat prowess. Combat prowess is a buff that grants 30% increased melee damage. And it's got suppression, which is like armor for boss fights. I'm not gonna buy that. I don't think that's worth it, because we're not doing melee stuff. I would like 2 more keys though, so we'll take that. And skill trait tome. So essentially these allow us to replace our skills. I don't think we need them, so let's go to the tavern. So tavern has a lot of things we can do. There's a bunch of NPCs around that can give us various like bonuses and stuff. But the main thing we want to do here is buy alcohol. So we can drink alcohol to get temporary buffs. As you can see here, beer is a buff that gives us 10% increased damage and adds tipsiness. We can be as tipsy as we've got heart containers. So if we exceed, say, 4, then we will take damage because we've drank too much. So as long as we stay under that, we should be fine. But getting this extra damage, it's going to be very good. And it's stackable. And I think it's permanent as well. At least I think so. Yeah, I think beer is a permanent thing. So it's usually good to go here and drink as much as you can. And we can get an enchantment on our weapon as well for 30 gold. I think that's kind of worth it. But what's more important here than this... just get away from this lady. This is a blacksmith. This is where we can upgrade our weapon. So I think we're going to go here as well. Yeah, let's go to a blacksmith. We want at least 20 gold whenever we go to a blacksmith. We can repair armor here for free, or we can talk to this guy and upgrade our weapon. So a maximum of 3, but every time we upgrade it, it gets a little bit better. So it's nice to do that. Let's grab some dexterity. You can see our damage has gone up quite a lot just from that one upgrade. Alright, it looks like we're doing just fine. Grab that. I don't need a melee weapon, so let's go and have a look at a new helmet. And that should be fine. Alright, the gargoyles. This is 2 bosses in one. They have a lot of armor, so as long as we can shred through the armor, they'll be okay. And we just need to pay attention to what they're doing. Once we kill one, the other one's going to get quite angry at us. Yeah. My brother, I shall avenge you. Go and pick up his souls if we can. And then this guy gets a little more feisty, but he's not that difficult. You just need to chill out. Depending on which one you kill as well, they do have different attack patterns. So if you struggle with one, you can just kill the other. Not a problem. Alrighty. We got our next set of rewards here. And we got a rare item. These are hard to find. This gives us extra damage based on how much curse we have, which is okay. We're leaning towards avoiding curse. On dash, charm the nearest enemy, or grant extra crit hit multiplier. On our helmet. What is our current crit chance? You currently have 12% crit chance. And then we'd have a pair of gloves that we need to find. This is a good investment into our future. I think it's better than this as well. Sure, let's take this and we'll replace it for this and hope we get the rest of the set. So I think the set bonus is going to give us extra critical hit modifier. So we'll just go like this. So our attack speeds are going to be a little lower, but we've already got scaling on one of our perks, so it shouldn't be too bad. Let's see how slow we fire now. It's not that bad. We'll attune just in case something isn't attuned. Usually a good idea. Oh, and a set item stash. This might just contain the other piece of the set that we need. I think they have a pretty high chance of finishing sets that you already have as well. So that's pretty good. Yeah, and the extra damage from not having the demon helmet on is pretty good. Right, let's see if it's it. Maid costume periodically charms all enemies in the room 10 seconds. We're not going to put that on, but it's cool to have. Let's go to the pair, because we want to get more dexterity scaling. Also, these homing poison projectiles are really bad. Just don't get hit by those if you can help it. Sweet, we get a pair. Ooh, epic weapons. Let's go have a look at some epic weapons, shall we? Here, we got, this is one of those weapons that can scale with all of your stats. Nyan Cannon. It fires explosive cats, and it scales with every stat, and it's a cannon. It does have the god-awful modifier, which gives it a 20% decreased damage, but it's pretty good damage. In fact, it's probably better than this, just as a default. We have the Vile Thorn, which is a magic weapon. We have the Railgun, which isn't god-awful, and it deals thrusting damage and secondary lightning damage. I think that one's really good. I think we'll be taking that one. Or the Cybersicles. And it's a mana drain weapon. We're going to take the Railgun. I think the Railgun's the best thing here. Because it's not god-awful either. Yeah, let's take it, and let's replace this, and we'll see if this works. You can see this disables our quiver, but we kind of don't need it, because look at this. This is going to be insane. Shall we go and open the obsidian chest, or shall we get some more gold? I think we should get some more gold, so we have 20 at least. And yeah, as you can see, this is dealing a lot more damage than our previous weapon was dealing. As long as we're accurate with it. Go to the pawn shop to sell stuff we're not using. Seems like a plan to me. Let's sell the maid outfit. 10 gold, not bad. This. And this. Alright. Golden chest or shop? Let's go to the golden chest, because it might have the other part of the set we're after as well. Now, this railgun looks really cool. As you can see, the variety of weapons in this game is really impressive. And there's plenty more we haven't seen yet. We get some bombs and a flail, which we're not going to be using. Oh, an alchemy stash, but it's a mimic, so we get it for free. This will contain potions. And potions are a bit like infusion of hex. They're going to give us temporary buffs. And again, there is a perk that makes them permanent. We're just going to drink all of them now, though. So if we get the perk whilst they're active, they'll stay on, even if we've drunk the potion before the buff went on. I'm pretty sure, anyway. But if we get Mage Blood here, we definitely need to take it, because all of these buffs, I'll say them all, extra damage, extra crit chance, an Inferno Orbital, movement speed, stamina regen. If we get Mage Blood here, that's absolutely insane. Mage Blood is the thing that makes the potions permanent. We don't get it. Boo's buff effects are permanent. Oh, so they weren't permanent. But if we take this, they are. Let's have a look at my character. Do I have the booze on? I do. This is probably going to be really good then. So now our booze is permanent, and we get double the effect. So this is giving us 80% increased damage, and it's only going to get bigger from there. We're going to go and try and get the other part of the gloves for this Thieves' Hood set. It's a bit hard to do, but if we do get it, it'll be really strong. 80% increased damage from beer, and if we can get this tipsiness gone... Oh, I see. The tipsiness is permanent too. Interesting. But this is still really good. If we can find a way to clear our tipsiness, that would be really good. I'm pretty happy with that anyway. 80% increased damage is just... It's hard to beat that. As you can see, yeah, look at the look at the damage we deal. It's so much. Yeah, wow. Phase 1 done, not a problem. And then we're going to do Phase 2 just as easily here. We are playing on Zero Cinder, so the game is going to be a lot easier than I'm used to anyway. But that's not to say the game isn't still hard, because it can definitely still be very difficult. Alright, we're halfway through. 5 out of 10 bosses defeated. see what we get here. A rare thing. Oh, a legendary thing. These are really rare. Let's see what this does. Lightning damage inflicts burn, and is additionally based on lightning infliction damage. I have a lightning weapon. This is going to be really good if we take that. Extra cold melee damage attacks, or 2 primary attacks shooting a dart. This is no-brainer, right? Because we're already doing the lightning damage, so they're going to deal additional burn damage. Damage and burn damage dealt additionally is based on lightning infliction damage. I don't know what that part means. I'm not quite sure what it means with that. But all this means is that our railgun is going to shock things, and it's also going to electrify things. I didn't mean to... I always do that by accident, man. So that's a goodbye to a perfectly good 10 souls. We will go and have a look at this blood chest. I feel like we can get away with the blood chest, especially since we got a potion charge to use. Oh, also, oh my god. Fawn enchantment here is going absolutely crazy for them. Yikes. I don't think I'm going to open this anymore. There's a petrified armor here, which gives us a permanent +1 armor, so I think now we can open it. We get a talisman, a hex charm, extra increased effective debuffs. I'm pretty sure that these are debuffs, so that's fantastic. So our burn and lightning should be dealing extra damage here. And we get a permanent +1 to armor here if we bomb this. Fantastic. So armor's just something we can repair if we need to as well, which is fantastic. So this is like health, but we can replenish it at blacksmiths, which is really not bad. What's our scaling here? We need more dexterity. I don't want to keep getting beef, because the game might just keep giving me beef. I'm going to take a potion instead. Potions are pretty good to stay stocked up on. We get a movement speed potion. We're not going to take that until our current one runs out, though. I'll take a chest because I don't want a curse here. But we're doing pretty good. It's a chain lightning effect too, so it goes between the enemies. Really strong. Right, open this. Unreal Molotov Cocktail. This is CE scaling. Extra. It's just going to be a good secondary weapon, I guess. Yeah, look at that. That's funny. Let's try it out. It's not going to be as good as the epic weapon, obviously, but it's going to be funny. Yeah, it's a cool secondary. I like it as an option, but we're already dealing burn, so it's not a problem. Those things go really fast. Let's go have a look at the shop. Don't want the taser, don't want that, don't want that. And what's this? This is an accessory for accessory slot. Lucky hit chance, no. We'll just go to the blacksmith here and upgrade our weapon to max. I think that's a good idea. And we could repair our armor if we needed to as well. Upgrade this. Upgrade it to full. Excellent. Grants rewards at the cost of health. Or bottles of booze. We've already... Oh wait, no, we've lost a tipsy. Why? Booze effects are permanent. Going over your tipsiness limit removes the next oldest booze effect instead of hurting you. Interesting. So this run we're going to want more max health so we can get more booze effects stacked. Seems like a good idea. Whiskey gives us attack speed and extra tipsiness. I'm going to take that. There we go. So we decrease our damage, but we increase our attack speed. Seems better to me. Boots. We do need a pair of boots, so let's go and do this. Alright, the Kraken boss. This one's a little tricky. We should be fine, though. Right. You just need to pay very close attention. Also, that was really quick. We're dealing a lot of damage. Alright, here we go. Walking in a circle here. Yeah, if you just pay attention, this fight's not too bad at all. He's going to make these pirate ships, which are really annoying. I recommend just staying in one place and doing very slight movements. That way the pirate ships or pirate spread are free and you can kind of just slip in between them. Because it targets you. Alright. Boss number 6 done without a hitch. Alright, a rare, and a rare. Let's see here. Oh, is that the thief's gloves? No, that's ninja gloves. Extra dexterity scaling of dagger and throwing weapons. Absolutely not. An extra 2 stamina is really decent. Yeah. Just having that on your boots is really good. This allows us to just dash and dash and dash without any worries whatsoever. It's going to make us basically unhittable if we know what we're doing. Alright, floor 7. I feel like this is a good floor to mention, that the game's soundtrack is absolutely insane. Tune. Set item or soul heart? We all know what a soul heart does if we've played The Binding of Isaac. We're definitely going to take that because we do need some extra HP here. I'd love another heart container. I don't know where our fourth one went. Did the blood chest take a max one? I don't think it took a max one. I'm not really sure what happened there. I don't want beef. Stop giving me beef. Does this scale with everything? It does. Actually, no, beef is fine. I just realised this weapon scales with everything. Which just means that, yeah, it's an AAA, which means it has pretty decent scaling on all skills. So you might as well just take every skill you see. Oh, I want this so bad, but it costs a key to get in. This is why you should always make sure you've always got at least one key, and you should make it a pretty high priority. Also, get out of here. Right, we're good, we're good. You should make getting a key a pretty high priority. Mage stash we don't need, I'll take some money instead. Having money is usually pretty good. Especially when you're playing with booze effects. Okay. We definitely should have gotten hit there. That was very sketchy. Pawn shop? Sounds like a plan to me, but I would like another key. I think selling our weapons is usually a pretty good thing. Ooh, that's very lucky. Very, very lucky. Sell the cactus flail. Sell this. 23, that was huge. That was a huge thing to sell. Yeah, wow. +3 to strength. I'll take that. It adds 9% to our weapon scaling, which is not a small amount. Definitely not. And I'd say this run's going pretty well so far. 3 away from leveling up, we'll just keep getting stats. Every time you see a stat, if you've got a weapon that scales with everything, you should just take the stat. Because you want to stay ahead of the curve as far as enemies are concerned. Otherwise, you're just going to get ran over. I'm going to drink these potions now that I've run out. A gold chest or some gold. I'll take a gold chest. I don't really want to use my key on it though. So we will try and save that for a rainy day. Alright. A set item or a melee weapon. We'll definitely go for the set item. We'll use this, why not? Sea urchin doesn't do anything because our offhand doesn't work, but I'll put it here just in case. Alright, red dragon. I am the king under the mountain, I am fire, I am death. This fight can be a little scary. Should be okay though. He just does these sweeping attacks with the occasional fan of bullets. But as long as you know how to use your dash effectively here, it's not a big problem. Plus we've got 4 charges of the dash. Ow. If you get hit with armor, it doesn't count towards actually getting hit for anything that applies a debuff or for perfecting the boss fight. So it's basically like we didn't get hit there, I guess. Pats on back, I guess. We've got 30 souls, which is enough to get another heart container, which is fantastic, because we're playing with booze effects. Right, let's try and get a better armor set here. At the start of combat, gain a minor infusion that cycles through repeating stuff. That's pretty good. We can get an evade, which works like armor, and it after 5 combats, without taking damage or invading, it recharges. I do like having reusable infusion effects. +1 to luck is kind of cute. Extra 10% damage versus an infusion effect. I think the infusion effect is stronger here, so we're going to take that. And we'll just leave. And we'll get an extra heart container so we can have some more booze effects. We love booze. Booze. Right. Grab the heart container. Here we get a +1 to dexterity, -1 strength. This is like a net 0. It does push us towards a new skill. So I think I'm going to take it. Even though it essentially scales us down, almost. It's good just because it gets us closer to leveling up. Yeah. Essentially a nothing burger there. We'll go for this candy since it's free. Yeah, I think we're chilling. And we get a level up. Hopefully it's something good. Let's see here. You can stack, burn, and bleed up to 10 stacks. This is really good for us. 1% increased effective debuffs per point of equip load on you. Brawler. 10 power per actor in the room. Your attack speed is always your weapon's base attack, but modifies to your attack speed. Instead, apply weapon damage. We'll go for the fire and blood, because we're getting burned because of our thing here anyway. Don't want to go for the warrior stash, so let's go for the key. And since we can stack multiple stacks of burn now, we're gonna be dealing a lot more damage, I think. There we go. Ooh, a Dragon Slayer Mimic stash. That's good. That could give us a much better weapon than what we currently have. Let's see. Ooh, that looks fun. This gives us extra damage for attack speed per tipsiness we have. This could be really good. It doesn't deal the the lightning, though. So maybe I would pass on it. But we'll give it a go, why not? We'll go for a boost. Yeah, no, it's much worse than what we had. But it is fun. If we weren't doing lightning damage stuff, then I would definitely consider maining it. Well, unfortunately, we are doing that. Oh, tequila! Extra crit multiplier. And this is a rare booze. I'm gonna take this. Because we get extra crit damage as well. Yeah, this is huge. Let's go to the blacksmith, upgrade, repair our armor. Tavern's pretty funny. Let's go to the tavern because we might get the rare booze here. I think it's this guy that sells it. Yeah, so this guy sells sake, which gives us melee critical hit. That's not very good. Storm in a bottle, I don't think that's a booze effect. I would like to enchant this weapon. This is going to give us a modifier here. It's shocking, so it just deals extra lightning damage. Do I want that? I don't think I want that. I want a better one. Oh, it's steady. 27 damage to non-crits. Am I going to be greedy and go for one more? I think I am. Killing, so it gives us cold damage, sure. Not mega impressed with it, but we'll keep it. And that's fine for me, let's go. I wanted, like, Unreal, that would have been the best one. But hey-ho, what can you do? We're just trying to min-max at that point. I think the weapon's plenty fine. I'd rather it not be chilling, though. I'd rather it be something better. Yeah, these gloves are kind of bad, so let's go try and find a better pair of gloves. Succubus is going to try and charm us on this fight. But we know better than to fall for these tricks. Just don't get hit by the pink bullets and you'll be fine. Alright, phase 1's done. We should be pretty good here for phase 2. Should start throwing poison into the mix though, which is a little dicey. You see our damage over time is doing it even though we're not hitting them. Really good. Alright, chilling. Chilling. Right, only 2 more fights to go. Alright, let's see. Gloves. What are these? We've got an epic thing here. Unarmed attacks? No. On non-triggered lucky hit, throw a syringe at the target. Inflicting vulnerability, fragility, or instability. And what's our lucky hit chance at the moment? 10%? It's better than what we've got. Let's try it. Sure, I'm down to clown. Let's give it a go. And moving on. Second to last floor here, the penultimate one. We attune just in case. And I'm not keen on either of these, but I'll go to the golden chest because we really don't want warrior weapons. I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, I'd just rather not. So this is where the enemies start getting a little bit extreme, I would say. Another epic weapons collection, let's go have a look at it. Ooh, bombs though. I'm pretty happy with bombs. Alright, let's see. Firefang's cute, but it doesn't do lightning damage. Oh, it's Scorch. And explosion damage. I'll take either of them to sell. Let's have a look how it attacks. Might influence things. Nah, I like my railgun. My railgun's pretty sweet. It does still work as a weapon. But I feel like just having the lightning with our legendary ring is going to be very, very good. More booze? Might as well have a look, because it might be better than the booze we currently have as well. We're starting to run out of inventory space, which is fine. Having things in your inventory doesn't count towards encumberment in this game. Wine. Increased damage over time. We're doing damage over time things. Let's take it. It's going to replace that. I mean, it's going to replace our attack speed one. I think these are pretty good ones. Pawn shop, let's definitely go there, because that's going to just be a ton of money. Sell the accordion. Sell this. Sell that. Sell this. We're going to get a ton of money. Just a metric buttload. Sweet. And let's go have a look in the shop. So this can also sell stats, by the way. Non-robe. Periodically strikes enemies with beams of light. No. Lucky hit per stack of tipsiness. That's just better. That's honestly just much better. Because I've got 4 stacks of tipsiness, so it's going to help us out quite a lot. And then let's go for the double stack thing here. We just need one room to attune this. Once we've attuned it though, it's going to be really good. Alright, attuned. Grab that. And now our tipsiness is going to be doing a lot of work for us. Yeah, it's going to deal a lot of damage. You can actually see what our lucky shot chance is. That's made it go up 10%, which is not bad. I'm going to go for this companion. Companions are things that you have in your inventory and they just fight for you. I usually like having one per run, so we're going to have that. Mind Flamer. Which is ironic because you're the one who's going to be on fire, my friend. Wow. So much damage. Insane. The real one has a hat on, by the way. That's how you can tell which one's real. Also, he has different attack patterns, so you can kind of just tell that way. That was easy. Sweet. See what our companion is. There's a thing about companions as well, which I want to explain. You have a maximum companion weight, which is how many companions you can have out at one time. Each companion has a different weight, essentially. Fallen Star, Mana Worm Companion, magic, and they grant extra mana. Or what's this? This applies melee stuff. This deals range damage. Increased sound damage. Does melee damage? Each horse grants extra movement speed. I think we'll take the horseshoe then. And you can have a maximum of one. But you'll see we'll move a lot faster with him out. And he's just gonna chill and help us defeat our enemies here. And we're on the final floor. Welcome to the Fortress of Death. This is where it all rounds up. We're gonna fully recover here because I do like having a flask available, and we're gonna make sure everything's attuned. And then for the rest of this floor, we're just gonna scale as much as we can before we go into the final boss. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's video on Tiny Rogues. I've tried to explain as best I can all of the game's little intricacies, but there is a lot going on in this game. I just think it's a fantastic experience, and I highly recommend it to anybody who enjoyed games like Enter the Gungeon or The Binding of Isaac, because it is really good. Strength also counts towards dexterity damage from scaling from ranged weapons? Is that going to apply a bonus to our things? I want to try it, because it already applies to it, but it might apply, like, again. That would be really good. Let's try it. I don't think it is applying again. It would be nice if it did, but I don't think it's going to. Ow. Okay. Hold on. The enemies in this area are really bad. Specifically these skulls. I'd say these are a priority target, like 10 times out of 10. We don't have a key to go down there, which is really annoying. Nope. I have accidentally opened my inventory. And that's something you really don't want. Ow. Everything's going kind of awfully right now. I do want to make it to the end. What is this? Feed me souls. Take 10 souls. Allows exchanging a trait for a new one. Because I think this isn't doing anything. We're going to replace it. Let's see what we get here. Ranged attacks gain 100% crushing hit at close range. Whilst you have only one elemental damage type, or you have only dealt one elemental damage type, you gain extra ailments. No. Holy fire. I do have a way of dealing that. Yeah, let's take it. It's pretty good. Let's go to the shop, because you can sell things that help me not die. We'll buy the scaling. And then we'll buy that. This gives us free random consumables. Let's try it. Right, it didn't really give us anything mega good. We'll go here because it lets us upgrade, repair our armor. And then we'll go and get the pair. Right, hold on now. Yeah, we have a way of applying Holy Fire, which is nice. Our hammer skill applies radiant damage. And we'll go for the lollipop. It's just lots of stats. We can use our heal. Let's not forget. I just really want these guys to die. They are the bane of my existence. They have led to so many deaths for me. I just want them all gone. And we've leveled up for the last time here. Let's see what our last skill is. From taking damage or on Defy Death, gain adrenaline. What's this, best friends? Increase stats from your companions now. Critical hit, apply fatigue. Decreases movement speed and increases damage taken from critical hits. When inflicting the maximum stacks of shock to an enemy, the stacks are consumed to a lightning strike that deal that lightning damage. That's really good. Okay, we'll go here. We don't have the souls required to rest, which is really bad. I don't think we'll need to rest here. We'll just not get hit. That's fine. Drink up. And then we're going into the final boss here. Let's see if we can manage it. This is death. In the end, all mortals bow before death. You are no exception to this rule. You have come very far. Can't be impressed. But nonetheless, your time has come. You need to die. So I need to focus on this fight. So I might not talk very much. I'll just let you enjoy the show. So easily severed. Alright. His starting attacks are not that hard to dodge, but he has some really mean tricks up his sleeve. But as long as we can stay under control for the majority of the fight, we should be fine. This is one of the more annoying things he does. You got to make sure you move out of the way after he's done his laser. He will follow it up with these explosive balls. That attack becomes really bad on phase 2, which is now. Enough! This is where the real fight begins. I'm going to face after us and do this cross, whilst also doing these, which is really annoying, by the way. Oh, actually, that wasn't that bad at all. Usually phase 2 is a lot harder than that. But I think we got a pretty lucky roll. Alright. That's our first run of Tiny Rogues done. It's going to offer some rewards here, but it's not going to matter very much. We take the Phoenix, the Staple Gun, or the Bowler Crossbow. Let's have a look at this legendary weapon. I've never had this. The Phoenix applies so much fire damage. It triggers a Phoenix flying across the arena. I mean, that's badass as fuck. Alright, so every time we beat the game, one of these braziers is going to go out. But we can't go past this. Cold winds try to get hold of you. Let them take you? No. But if we go past here, we're going to get stopped. Your flesh is still bound to this world, so you can keep trying, but I tell you, you have no choice. And he's going to just kill us here. Death claims another. That's completely scripted, there's no way you can avoid that. But every time we beat the game, we're going to be allowed a little bit further into Death's domain. Which is where I can get into one of the coolest parts of this game. You can see we've just unlocked a ton of classes. But we've increased the world tier, so every time we do a certain amount of objectives in the world, we upgrade our world tier. This essentially changes the enemies that show up in the game, and unlocks new bosses and alternate floors. So essentially the game starts off simple, but increasingly gets more complicated as time goes on. And you can see here everything we need to do to progress the world. The first one was defeating Death, but now we have to defeat Death 5 times, with 5 different classes. This unlocks like alternate floors, new bosses, new events, new enemies. It's really cool stuff. But yeah, that does it for the first episode of Tiny Rogues. One last thing I'll show you is that there is a big skill tree to work on. So every time we beat a run, we get some mastery points, which we can invest into doing like this big skill tree here. One thing I want to get straight away is Rebirth. This allows us to have 1 Death Defy per run, which is really useful. So we'll go for the healing rewards are worth more, On the Brink of Death, and Rebirth, and we can pick one more thing. What is this? 20% chance on each room reward roll to roll the maximum amount of rewards. If the rolled amount of room rewards is below the average amount, it is rolled again, taking into the account the higher of the 2 values. You have +1 lock on floor 1 and 2. We'll take that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to doing the next episode of this with you all. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye everybody.